Hello, my dear students. How are you all? My dear students, today I am going to teach you how to unlock the scientific reasons which are responsible for all of the properties of covalently bonded compounds. And not only covalently bonded compounds, the property of any element to make type of bonds. You know what is it? This is the power of attracting the bonding pair towards itself. That is electronegativity. Now this picture is explaining you enough about it. How the electrons are attracted by any atom. Now first we see how it is defined. Electronegativity is a measure of the tendency of any atom to attract the bonding pair of electrons. The bonding pair means the pair of electron which is the reason for binding them, which is shared between the bonding atoms. And how it is studied, in fact the scientist Pauling made a scale in which he assigned the maximum value to fluorine and the minimum value to cesium. That's a metal. So this part is going to be discussed in detail in the coming slides. First, we understand the definition. Now consider if these two atoms, let's imagine this is atom A, is bonded to atom B. Then they must be exchanging electrons to complete their octets, or in other words, to get them stable. So these electrons, which is a pair, now this pair of electron is attracted by both of the bonding atoms, and how much strongly they are attracting this pair is called as the electronegativity. Now how we can measure it? This is a derived quantity, so it cannot be measured directly. Rather, it is dependent on other atomic properties such as ionization energy and electron affinity. Now, if you understand both of the properties clearly, then to understand the electronegativity will become easier for you. Okay, I help you. I tell you that the amount of energy which is required to lose electron from a gaseous atom is called as ionization energy. Let's suppose sodium is under study. When we provide energy to sodium, it is ionized and loses its electron. So this amount of energy which is ionizing sodium and losing its electron, it's called as ionization energy. But the electron affinity is that amount of energy change which is required to add one more electron. Like if chlorine is gaining one electron to make it anion, now this amount of energy is called as electron affinity. Now who made this scale? I told you before that Pauling measured electronegativity by first measuring the strength of bonds between atoms using thermochemistry. Means he studied the amount of energy related to bond formation and bond breaking. And then he devised an electronegativity scale in which he assigned the maximum value to fluorine. And as this is an arbitrary standard value, so other elements' electronegativity is compared to fluorine. And as it is a comparative value, so it is given no unit, means electronegativity has no unit. Now let us have a look on the periodic table, which is highlighted with different colors showing different electronegativity values. First, we see where is fluorine located. Here it is. Fluorine is the most electronegative element of the periodic table. Means it has got maximum power to attract the bonding pair. Whenever fluorine makes some bond, it very powerfully attracts the bonding pair towards itself. But on the other side, cesium is plotted, showing the minimum electronegativity. As you can see, both of the atoms are located at the maximum distance at the opposite corners of the periodic table. So if we say fluorine is the most electronegative, means it strongly and powerfully attracts the bond pair towards itself, being the most electronegative. But cesium has this power of attracting the bonding pair towards itself. It's at least value. So cesium will be the most electropositive. Now we see what is the trend, like how and why the values are changing across the periodic table. So first we see electronegativity increases across a period. When we go from left to side in a periodic table, why the value is increasing? Because the number of charges on the nucleus increasing, and that attracts the bonding pair towards itself more strongly. So when I see I'm moving from left to right in a periodic table, all the time the electronegativity value is increasing, because as I move in a period, gradually the atomic number is increasing. Means the positive charge in the nucleus is increasing, and this results in stronger attractive force on the electrons from the nucleus. So the attraction or the power to attract the electron from the nucleus is increasing. But this is not the case when we see the changes of electronegativity down the group. How? Because the number of energy levels or shells or orbits increasing down the group. And so when energy levels are increasing, there are more electrons, more electronic clouds, more orbits, larger size atom. And the distance between the nucleus and the outermost electrons is also on the rise. So as I see, moving from top to bottom, the value is decreasing. The power of nucleus to attract the bonding pair is weakening down the group. So if I talk in terms of electronegativity, the electronegativity is decreasing down the group. But as the size is increasing, the electropositivity is increasing. Okay, now we also learn that why the electronegativity is so important to know. When we study any compound, its bonding, what are the bonding atoms and what is the difference in their electronegativities is enough to understand the nature of the bond. As when there is a covalent bond, means sharing of electrons is between similar atoms or like atoms, or with a very minimum difference of electronegativity, then the bond is almost non-polar, because both of the bonding atoms have same electronegativity. But when the difference increases, like up to 1.7, means the nature of the bond is polar, because one atom is stronger in electronegativity, powerfully attracts that bonding pair towards itself, and the other atom is left with lighter electron density on it, which results in ionization or polarization in the compound. Now I will give you few examples to understand how a bond becomes polar in the coming slides. And the very important thing to know that when the difference exceeds 1.7, then the nature of the bond is not covalent, but that becomes ionic. Now we see, if we study the bond between hydrogen and chlorine. Now when I compare the sizes, hydrogen is very small in size as compared to chlorine. But here we are going to compare the electronegativity values to understand the nature of the bond. Hydrogen is assigned the electronegativity value 2.1, but chlorine is 3.0. So which atom is a stronger electronegativity? Yes, this is chlorine. So this bonding pair, which is shared between hydrogen and chlorine, is more powerfully attracted by the chlorine, which results in greater electron density beside or towards chlorine atom, which results in slightly positive ion on the hydrogen side and slightly negative sign on the chlorine side. Now this bond is said to be a polar covalent bond in which slight ionic characters are present on the bonding atoms. Similarly, when a bond between hydrogen and oxygen is started, again oxygen being strongly electronegative atom, it powerfully attracts the bonding pair towards itself, and the hydrogen is left with slightly positive character on it. So this is the reason the water molecule is a polar one. Now we see the difference of electronegativities. Greater is the difference of electronegativity, greater is the polarity or more ionic character. But when I see the electronegativity difference exceeds 1.7 as in sodium chloride. Now this is a very common ionic compound, and everyone knows that sodium and chlorine, whenever they are bonded, they form ionic compound. But what is the reason behind it? As the sodium is very weakly electronegative, but chlorine is a very high electronegative element as compared to sodium, and the difference is more than 1.7. So it is possible for chlorine to lose the electron from the atom of sodium permanently, and which results in the formation of ionic bond. Now when I sum up today's class, I get to know that when the bond pair is equally shared between atoms which are alike, which are same, the nature of the covalent bond is exactly non-polar. But when the covalent bond or the sharing of electron pair is done between two unlike atoms having different electronegativity values, but this value is lesser than 1.7, then this kind of covalent bond is said to be a polar one. But when the difference of electronegativity is greater than 1.7, then complete transfer of electron takes place from one atom to another, making them ionized, which is called as ionic bond. Now the few more topics from the same chapter will be following this class. You just watch the video carefully, label the diagrams, understand them, then speak in your language to explain the same phenomena to get good marks. I am leaving you with a hope that you will be waiting for my next video, and if you have not subscribed my channel, kindly do it, because I am about to bring so many interesting and explained videos to make chemistry easy for you. Thank you.